That's not what it said.
What have you watched?
Said watched it within the past 3 months.
What have you watched in the past 3 months?
Nothing.
The Anime Man. The Anime Man. I don't know if you guys knew this, but that's this guy's channel's name.
It's not my fault anime's been mid as fuck this year, alright?
Now, is Joey the Anime Man right in saying that anime was mid this year? No. He's not right at all. This year, in my opinion, was incredibly good for anime, with tons of instant hood classics like Mushoku Tensei, Odd Taxi, Vivi, Ousama Ranking, Attack on Titan The Final Season Part 1. At the same time though, there was a ton of dogshit anime that came out this year. Out of every season, there's around 3 banger shows, and the rest is just a bunch of cookie cutter isekai garbage. But why do these shows exist? The answer lies in this picture. Japanese corporate businessmen want money. And what do all cookie cutter, isekai, harem, rom-com, incest shows all have in common? They all have an audience that for some reason consistently comes back for more. Of course, going for something creative and original like Vivi will create a better result, but most studios want to go for the safe option. But besides that, there are, as I mentioned, a lot of great shows that come out every season. But still, a lot of us don't enjoy anime as much as we used to. In this video, I'm going to be going over the reasons that you don't like anime anymore based on actual neuroscience, and also how to fix it. Now, if you're a seasoned anime fan, you probably already know about the life cycle that we all experience. You start out just barely knowing what anime is, maybe you watched Pokemon as a kid, or maybe you even watched Death Note and you actually enjoyed it. Eventually though, you discover a show that awakens a deep desire to consume as much anime as possible. You suddenly have the same power that a particle moving close to the speed of light has, time dilation. You're able to watch entire seasons of anime in a day. But then something kicks in, and this power begins to fade. What is this? It's called Hedonic Adaptation, and it's basically something that's built into our minds for survival. It's the idea that once your brain experiences something good or bad continuously, it eventually gets used to it and returns to a baseline level. If you've ever been to Five Guys and ordered some fries, you might have noticed at the bottom of your bag, holy shit, there's a ton of extra fries in here. Pleased with your service, you may have come back again to the Five Guys, only to realize that they purposely put those fries in every time and you're actually just paying more for them. This is hedonic adaptation at work, and it's what allowed our primitive ancestors to survive because their brains gave signals when they found something that could be useful for their survival. We all know that anime fans tend to return to monkey, so the life cycle of an anime fan sort of works in the same way. The first time that you saw this, you were probably like, but over time, you know, the effect wears off. You start to get tired of cheap fan service in anime, and you quickly become more picky about how an anime chooses to spend its time on screen, favoring things that actually contribute to the overall plot. When you start watching anime, you are filled with new stimuli and your brain is going crazy, but over time you return to a base level and it just doesn't hit the same anymore. The next reason is decision fatigue. The amount of new anime that comes out nowadays that are absolute bangers is actually absurd. I mean, I remember when we thought that My Hero Academia was actually a good shonen. The bar of quality of anime seems to keep improving year after year with better animation, better story, better voice acting and music. All the while, the classics of the past keep building up. This insanely high amount of choice is overwhelming. I mean, my plan to watch this is literally a never-ending void that doesn't seem to end. It often feels like there's so much stuff to watch that I don't want to watch any of it. I think this is what's leading a lot of people to stop watching anime and opting in for other forms of media like manga. With manga, the input cost of starting a new show is way lower, as most series can be binged in less than a day. The last thing I want is to be 4 episodes deep into a new anime and see this. This goes hand in hand with the fact that our attention spans are getting smaller. I mean, you've probably heard this a million times, but Instagram, TikTok, YouTube are all moving towards short form content, so much so that Google was taken over by TikTok as the most used website in 2021. And as I talked about before, our brains will slowly start adapting to this, and the 20-minute episode of anime is getting longer and longer. I mean, I consider myself a pretty patient guy, but with all that being said, have we actually outgrown anime, or are there things we can do about this? Well, I think so, and I think the first thing is taking a break. If you've been watching anime just for the sake of it and you're not really enjoying it, take a break. Go watch some other forms of media, whether it's movies or shows. Your brain will slowly go back to its original baseline and it'll feel refreshing to be back once you're done taking the break. On the other hand, maybe you are taking a break because you're so tired of anime. In this case, I would say maybe considering trying a bit of a dopamine detox. Get off TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and maybe even considering touching some grass. I know this sounds crazy, but this can help restore your attention span, and you'll find it's a lot easier to sit through a 20-minute episode. I found in the past that just getting off these platforms for a few days can make a big difference. Now, once you've done all of this, how do you pick a new show? I think it's really important that you be more selective with the anime that you watch. And by this, I don't mean checking the reviews of an anime or the score on my anime list, but choose something that genuinely appeals to you. And without sounding like a narcissistic douchebag, I think one of the best ways to do this is by watching anime recommendation videos on YouTube like mine, but you could also just read the plot synopsis, and if you find it appealing, you can go watch it. Another way that I actually think is pretty good is reading manga. You can digest the first few chapters, and if it's something you can like, you can watch the anime. Also consider branching out and trying something new. Sometimes I forget that anime is a medium, not a genre, and there's a wide selection of different anime out there. I know this is a bit contradictory with what I just said, but sometimes going into something completely new can be extremely enjoyable. When I first started watching anime, I only watched shonen action and battle anime, and this oftentimes led me to become bored because I felt like I ran out of good shows. But as I branched out more, I found that there were actually tons of amazing shows that I hadn't discovered. Anime is continually evolving, and if you look properly, you'll find something that you love. Like all things, you can get burnt out of consuming anime, but you want to know my opinion? Quit being a pussy and start watching some anime. Now, I don't normally do this on my videos, but if you guys enjoy my content, please follow me on Twitter. So if you've been a bit confused on what's been happening on my channel lately, basically I tried uploading this video on Ousama Ranking twice, and both of the times the video got fully copyright strike, and so that means I have 2 strikes on my channel. And if you don't know how the system works on YouTube, if you get 3 strikes, you're out, your channel gets deleted, permanently gone forever. So if you guys could follow me on Twitter, that would be great. Also, huge thanks to Manly Reviews. I took huge inspiration from him for this video. I pretty much copied him, and I'll see you guys later.